Out there, Corden Soroka recording from Allendale's trading floor in McHenry, Illinois. Had a very hectic trading day today, this Thursday, October 27th, 2011. Europe, for the time being, is saved. Greece will not default, and they are taking about a 50% haircut on all of their bonds that are being held by outside institutions. So they are going to see a pretty good size write-down on a lot of Greece debt. However, that is going to help the debt to GDP ratio, something that the European zone has been watching very, very closely. So keep an eye on that for further developments. If you had a chance to see the markets today, everything was strong and the dollar was sharply lower. The dollar for the day today was trading down $1.40. So we did see good pressure there. Crude oil up about $3.69 a barrel when I had last looked at 93.89. The stock market up about 370 to 400 points as well. Looks like it is rallying into the close. Now to the grains. Corn today, poor export numbers that came in about 361,000 tons. They were looking for an expected number of 600 to 900. Back in the range that we've been trading for the last 12 sessions was the corn. After seeing a dip yesterday, we were up 14 1/4 today at 651 1/2. And they just continue to look to the outside markets and the dollar. We were trading pretty well unchanged earlier in the session. Then we saw about 20,000 contracts come in about 15 minutes in the corn. So we saw an overwhelming amount of buying that did push us higher, and we did stamp around those highs for the remainder of the session. So it'd be good to see some follow-through tomorrow to try and test the high end of the range around 665 in the corn. We'll see if we want to push through that on lighter volume tomorrow. We could see this market off and running if it does so. Beans today did trade about 24.5 cents higher, and it has been trading in a sideways range for the last 6 sessions as well. We'll see if we can get a breakout there. Export numbers came in a little bit disappointing on the beans. They were looking for anywhere from 500 to 1 million tons of exports. Came in at about 255,000, so a little bit below expectations, but the buying was just in here today with that weaker dollar. It left it open for the funds to come in. South American weather, something we're going to start watching a little closer here, does look good for Brazil and Argentina, and we'll continue to look at that and see if they're going to get any of the dry weather that some have been forecasting. Fundamentally, we are a little weak with the beans, but technically we should see some follow-through tomorrow, and the follow-through could look very good. We could see the beans start to rally back here a little bit from some of these lows. Our estimates are having the fair value of beans closer to that $13 area, so we do have them as undervalued right now. Wheat today, neutral exports came in at about 317,000 tons within the estimates of 300 to 500,000 tons. Pretty much the same story we've been hearing for wheat for the last month. Bearish fundamentals, but they're going to continue to be viewed as a feed grain, and they will be priced with corn. Now, we do have an ample supply of wheat here in the States, and we do have a good supply internationally as well, with the Black Sea region continuing to supply cheaper wheat. One of the developments we're going to need to keep an eye on, though, is they had talked about some export tariffs on the wheat. So we'll see if they're going to start taxing exports on the wheat, and that's going to be something we're going to need to keep an eye on for closer development. Australian wheat is looking good right now. They have been shipping internationally as well at prices that are less than the U.S., so we haven't seen too many exports for U.S. wheat. Cattle today did trade a little lower. Active trade steady or $1 lower at that 120 area. So last week we had trade at 120 and 121. We did see 120 today, but they did move a lot with the outside market. So even though we had some weak cash trade, they continued to follow the outsides with this bullish European news. The cattle was trading at 120.15, down about 27 cents. Hogs today, they did trade higher for a good portion of the morning session, and then that did come under a little bit of pressure. Last time I looked, they were down 15 at 86.87. Cash traded lower for the 5th straight day, and wholesale pork traded lower for the 4th straight day. So seasonally, we should see a little bit of pressure, and we started to see that pressure here as of late, but we should start looking for a bottom. Usually the bottom will happen late October, early November. We're thinking this could happen the 1st and 2nd week in November, just based on the fact that we are a little bit behind in the cycle for the hogs this year. So that's what moved us in the agricultural markets today. Like I had said, the outsides are remaining strong. GDP numbers came back today good as well at about 2.5%. The estimates were about 2.5, so that was another positive for the market. And initial jobless claims came in right in line with where they have been the last few weeks at about 400,000. So these are the things that we've been watching today. Feel free to give us a call. We've got our Outlook conference. It's going to be coming up January 20th and the 21st. Get yourself signed up early before we run out of all the seats there. We've had a lot of interest in the first few weeks that we've been talking about that. Also, if you have any questions, feel free to call any of us. We've got a bunch of knowledgeable brokers here, 800-262-7538, and check out our website. It's allendale-inc.com. So if you have any questions, feel free to give us a call. And if not, we'll talk to you guys next week. Have a good rest of the trading week and have a good weekend. Thanks.